Okay, we appreciate everybody's patience. We're going to go ahead and get started, and as others join, we want to be respectful of your time and really appreciate you taking the time to join today. Just so that everyone is aware, this session is being recorded today, and thank you again for joining. My name is Steve Winter. I'm the Vice President for Planet Technologies. I have overall responsibility for our state and local government practice. What we're here today is to talk about automated citizen services for state and local government through the Planet Solution Accelerator for Citizen Services developed on top of the Microsoft CRM Online and CRM platform. The first thing we want to do today is we want to discuss the goal and challenges associated with municipalities and localities delivering quality, on-time, responsive government through citizen services. In the slide that you see in front of us, you see that stakeholders of your agency or of your locality are constituents. You want those constituents to be able to access and communicate with your government from anywhere, over any device or any format. You want to be able to capture requests. You want to be able to capture documents, both incoming and outgoing documents and signatures. You want images. You want to be able to, again, ingest documents. You want data to be entered one time and use it multiple times. You don't want to have to deal with issues associated with fat fingering or mistakes or dual entries or the costs associated with those types of data errors. And you want to make communication seamless, and you want to capture that communication. And you want your citizens and your constituents to feel as though their problem matters, their case matters to you, their local government, and that their government is being responsive to them. And ultimately, you want those citizens who are communicating with you from anywhere, over any format, over any device, sharing data, receiving data, sharing documents, sharing applications, sharing data, communicating with you. We want all that captured, incoming and outgoing, from your back-end IT infrastructure, your business intelligence, your workflow, your various line of business applications, your ERP systems and databases. You want that flow from your constituents to the back end and back to them to be as seamless as possible. And of course, the value to that is we're going to reduce costs. We're going to increase the speed of processing. We're going to reduce errors. We're going to be much more compliant with our regulatory requirements. And we're going to move away from paper, and we're going to get to electronics. So today, many of our customers who are dealing with citizen services and constituent services, they're not as automated as they want it to be, and many of their processes are manual. So in this slide, what you see is constituents are coming to their government with questions, applications, documents, cases, licensing applications, permits applications. They're delivering those to us through walk-ins, through the postal service, maybe through a fax, or maybe through an email. So we've all these different channels that are bringing that data back to our government from these constituents. That causes mayhem and confusion in terms of how we're going to process that. How do we make sure we don't lose any of those applications? Again, how do we make sure we don't duplicate and make errors on data entry? How do we make sure that we're going to be responsive to those citizens and those constituents when we have things coming in the mailroom? We've got documents that are being scanned. We got faxes coming in from the fax machine. And all that causes that confusion and causes that delay, which again equals cost, delay, and errors. And that affects the people, both the caseworkers on the government side who are trying to do the best they can for their citizens and constituents, trying to track this process down, trying to streamline this process, trying to make sure this process isn't fraught with errors, right? As well as the external organizations that we might be working with, third-party organizations. Manual processing, again, is expensive, causes delay in responsiveness to our constituents and to our partners, and has the opportunity to be filled with errors. So by automating this process in a way that's accountable, that's auditable, That gives us the ability to run reports and basically see where we are in the process of each one of these cases or citizen requests or applications. We get a ton of value. First of all, we're going to reduce costs. We're going to reduce the physical costs of actual products and overhead costs associated with paper and printing and fax machines, and we're going to reduce the costs associated with errors. We're going to reduce the cost associated with time to process. We're going to be much more efficient because, again, we're going to be able to trace everything and see everything from the beginning of that case, from the beginning of that request, all the way to the end of that, and we're going to be able to see and audit where we are in each one of those processes, and we're going to be able to catch errors. We're going to be able to catch hanging chads or things that are out there, and we're going to be able to deliver better services. Again, we're going to be able to take things that used to take a week, and we're going to be able to process those things in minutes. And then from a management perspective, we're going to be able to see where we are and how responsive our government is and how transparent our government is. So over to the left here on this slide, what you're going to see is some quotes from some of our customers on what their goals are and the benefits associated with automation. But in essence, by automating the citizen services and these citizen requests, what we're doing is we're making our government much more responsive, certainly making it more productive. We're providing a higher quality communication and a higher quality services to our constituents, while we're reducing the operating costs, we're reducing error, we're certainly reducing the time to delivery, and potentially reducing fraud because we're able to audit and report on a system in a way that we never could through manual processes. So now that we've sort of outlined what we're trying to accomplish at a high level with constituent and client and citizen services, and we've sort of outlined why the manual processes can be a struggle and how automated processes can help answer that, I want to tell you a little bit about our company, Planet Technologies. Planet Technologies, we are an 11-time Microsoft Public Sector Partner of the Year. We are also one of only 35 Microsoft partners across the United States that are NSP partners. These are Microsoft's top partners. You get this distinction by delivering great value to our mutual customers and making sure those customers see the value of the investment they've made in Microsoft products and services. We are also Microsoft's 2-year consecutive winner of their Cloud Partner of the Year, which includes Microsoft Dynamics CRM Online. So why Planet Technologies for citizen services and built on top of Microsoft Dynamics CRM? So first of all, Microsoft's Solution Accelerator for Citizen Services, or for 311, is the singularly most downloaded Microsoft Solution Accelerator on the Dynamics platform. Planet Technologies actually developed that Solution Accelerator for Microsoft. So if you go to the Microsoft site today and download that Solution Accelerator, you are downloading something developed by Planet Technologies. We've deployed this type of service for customers like the City of Birmingham, the City of Spokane, and the City of Grand Rapids, and Microsoft and Planet have both benefited from lots of case studies and white papers and articles on the web right now on that Grand Rapids 311 solution, and you can go out and search that today. We have packaged this know-how of building the Microsoft Solution Accelerator with our experience with customers, like I mentioned, and many, many others, and built a Solution Accelerator and a quick start engagement for you where you're going to receive maximum benefit for a very low initial investment, where on day one you're going to be able to offer great new citizen services to your constituents while creating a platform where you can layer on phases as time goes on and needs go on. That relates to the flexible architecture with which we built this. So if you were to move forward with the Planet Solution Accelerator today and our solution, you would be able to do phase 1. You would see those benefits in weeks on day 1. And then as time goes on and your requirements become much more clear to how you want to layer on new constituent services, you can do that right in this platform we provided for you. No presentation will be complete without a quote. So this is a quote from the City of Grand Rapids that I have mentioned before. We're talking about a huge cost savings. Answer times have gone from 6 minutes to 22 seconds, and they are calculating a budgetary savings of over $600,000 in the solution's second year. So, what is the Planet Solution Accelerator and what does it include? Well, it includes a web portal that we're going to be able to brand working with you that's going to have the look and feel of your current website brand. So customers will feel like they're on, and citizens and constituents will feel like they're on the same web property they were on before. We're going to provide this platform built on top of Microsoft Dynamics CRM Online that's going to allow you to build in phases. As I mentioned, day one, you're going to have a great solution and you're going to be able to build on and on over time. The Solution Accelerator and the solution that we're going to provide and describe for you today comes with the customization of 2 standardized workflow processes. You're going to get trained so you know how to operate the system. This system works on any mobile device that's out there, whether that be Windows Phone or iPhone or Android or iPad or whatever. You're going to be able to use this system, and your constituents are going to be able to use this on any mobile device from anywhere in the world, as long as they have an internet connection. And it's built on top of the Microsoft Dynamics CRM platform, which is a dynamic application development platform that you can have not only citizen services, but things like fleet management and asset management and IT asset management and legislative management, and all those things can be built on top of this Dynamics CRM platform. So I mentioned before in the slide before that you get 2 customized workflow scenarios with the Planet solution out of the box, and here are some examples of those. General requests could be general comments and questions and feedback. Contact us, receive a response from appropriate department. File a complaint, potholes, noise, abandoned vehicles, those types of things, or of course ask a question. We have some customers that have leveraged this to ask the mayor or ask the city council or those types of things. And again, we can track all this, we can make it audible, we can make it reportable, you can be responsive to your citizens and respond back in a responsive need, you can capture those pieces of information. And again, this is day one functionality that you can provide within weeks, and then you can layer on additional functionality as time goes on. So I'm going to hand this over to Mike Downmeyer. Mike's going to provide you a live demo of the system, and then I will come back and outline the offer in more detail.
All right, thanks everybody. As Steve said, we're going to go through a demo today. We're going to play the part of 2 separate people here during the demo. The first part of this, we're going to play the role of the citizen or the constituent who's actually coming to the website to make one of these requests, and then later we're going to flip over to the CRM side of it and play the role of the CSR who's handling the request as it comes in. So as Steve said, I'm going to show you the portal that comes with this. This portal is configurable completely. It can be used as a main website for your agency, or it can be integrated into your agency's existing website. The branding can go along with that. We're going to focus on 2 parts of this today, and one of them is going to be the support area, which is where citizens will be able to reference knowledge base articles and place case requests and follow up on those, and then the other piece is to log into the system. One of the things before we get into that I want to show you is this, the website is completely responsive design. This is pretty much a web standard nowadays. If you'll notice, as we move this to a smaller form factor, you'll notice that the navigation collapses at the top. You start to get the drop-down menu. This may be similar to what it would look like on a smaller screen, something like an iPad or a tablet or possibly even a phone. And Steve did say about different phones that this is available to work on. I just want to drag this on here to show you what the form might look like on an actual cell phone. A lot of times citizens will report request directly from their phone, and I'm going to use that for the demo here where we're going to report a pothole request. So that's something that we just hit the pothole. I can log on to the site and report it directly without having to wait till I get back home at the end of the day. The other nice thing about having a responsive design website as opposed to separate apps for each different phone platform, it's going to work across all those platforms, so you don't have to worry about taking time or money to write separate apps for iPhones and Androids and for Windows phones. Additionally, you don't have to rely on your citizens to have to remember their passwords to log on to their app stores to be able to download that application. It's one single website that's accessible by all the different formats. So the first thing I want to show you is login. This is set up so that there's different ways to interface with the portal as a citizen. It's going to depend on what your business requirements would be. If you want to require that the citizen have an account in order to log a case, we have that functionality available, or you may want to allow them the ability to just log a case anonymously. So what we have across the screen here is if I just want to log a case anonymously, I have that ability. With the login, I get additional functionality as a citizen. The main functionality that I get is once I log my case, I can come back and log back in and see the status of the case. So if this case is routed off to different agencies throughout its life cycle, I can come back and log in and see where that's at. There's a couple different ways to do this. One is to create a local account right here through the portal, which is the area on the left side of the screen. You can see we also do authentication services with some of the more popular sites out there like Twitter, Facebook, Microsoft. This is your actual Microsoft Live account, like what you would use on your Xbox. It's not the actual same as this one, and Google. So we're going to go ahead and look at the actual service request screen. A couple different pieces of functionality that's available here. The first one in particular is to be able to search the knowledge base. So the knowledge base, all those articles are stored inside a CRM. The knowledge base articles can be tagged, whether you want those to be internal only or if you want to expose them to citizens on the outside. If you do have a differentiation like that, whenever the citizen comes to the portal and does a search, it would only look against the ones that are available for public consumption. So something to search here, I'm just going to do a search for, we'll say street lamp. And this will go out, we'll do a search using these keywords, I'm sorry, I want a street light, against all the knowledge base articles that are in the system and pull back any related knowledge base articles. The first thing here is to try to help the citizen to be able to do some self-service. If this is something that they can do a knowledge-based search, they can get the answer and they can immediately resolve their issue right then, it's going to eliminate them having to call in to your service center to be able to resolve the issue. So a couple different benefits there. One is the citizen gets their issue resolved immediately. Two is it's less work you have to do on the agency side to be able to handle those calls as they come in. So we're doing some ticket deflection here. As you start working with this system and as you're using it for a period of time, you'll be able to go back and look and see what kind of cases you're getting repetitive along the way from the citizens and start to be able to write additional knowledge base articles to address those. So over the period of time, the ticket deflection should be able to increase while actual cases coming in should be able to decrease if the citizen uses a knowledge base lookup first. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do, I'm going to actually show you logging a ticket. As Steve said, there's a couple different types of service requests that are available. The one in particular that I'm going to focus on today was a complaint request, and I have a specific type of complaint request here because I'm sure we've all hit a pothole and we all dislike hitting potholes. So we have a pothole complaint form here on the portal. The idea here is, as opposed to somebody calling in and reporting this on the phone, that they could go directly to the website and report this pothole. So as a citizen, I'm going to go ahead and click on this. You can see there's different fields that are on this form for the citizen to fill out. I just want to let you know all of these fields are actually coming directly out of the back-end CRM system. It dynamically builds this form out, so you don't have to have somebody else on staff to keep building these forms on the portal. This portal form that you're looking at right now is being built dynamically directly out of CRM. So I'm going to go ahead and fill in some information here. This would be the address of where the pothole is actually located at. Of course, we give a field here for directions, so you can put if this is like in the middle of the road or wherever this might be. And then comments. There's a comments field as well. There's personal injury checkbox yes or no on the form. This is something that that we put on here just to be able to talk about during the demo. You may have certain criteria that if it's triggered during the course of a case, that it actually might change the priority to high priority, or it may change the priority to low priority for that matter. It may route it off to a specific agency or a specific group or person within the agency based on the criteria. So this field in particular is an example. If there was personal injury, whenever this pothole request comes in, it may send the repair request off to the road maintenance agency, but it may also contact public relations or somebody else to let them know that there was some sort of personal injury. So just to give you an idea there of how workflows can be built into the system. Also, this one in particular, we're tracking what's the depth of this pothole. So again, we may have this set up that if it's a deep pothole, maybe your agency's business process there is if it's a deep pothole, it automatically triggers it to be a high priority as opposed to a regular priority. We can put in some other information about how big the pothole is. Again, if I'm going to put in my name, and phone number. So I can fill in as much of this information or as little of this information as I want. Whatever fields are required on the form within CRM in the back end, that will translate over onto this form as well. So you can see this depth field has a little red asterisk beside it. That means it is a required field. The citizen wouldn't be able to fill out this form without providing that information, just the same as if a CSR was taking this call on the phone, they would require that information. You can see also at the top there's an attachments tab. This allows us to be able to take attachments from this citizen. So in this case, for example, maybe the citizen wants to submit a picture of the pothole. This could be for other things. This could be used for application for employment requests, and possibly they're attaching a resume. It could be for some sort of assistance, maybe with your health and human services agencies, and they could be attaching documentation. But for this one, we're going to attach a picture of the pothole to this, and I'm just going to go ahead and submit this. Now, on the back end, what's actually happening here is it's taking this information, it's creating a record in a CRM system, it's passing all this information into it, filling in the fields, it's attaching the picture to it. If you have workflows built in there that route this off to other agencies, it's going to go ahead and kick off those workflows. So for a scenario here, we know there's a pothole. It's automatically going to get routed to the highway repair or to the road repair group. This is going to skip right past your call center, basically. So your call center CSRs don't have to take the time to look at this and then say, okay, yeah, it's a pothole, I'm going to send it off to the highway division. It's already been sent there. So within a few brief seconds, at this point, based on workflows, the person who's in charge of highway repair may have already gotten an email on their mobile device letting them know, hey, you have a new pothole request sitting out here. It could include things like the date and the time that it was logged, the contact information of the person who submitted it, and a link back to the record to be able to click on it. This is very helpful whenever you have people who are maybe already out on the road filling potholes. Again, it's just for the scenario, but they're already out on the road filling potholes. Instead of coming back to the office at the end of the day and finding out they had another repair request that was like a half a mile away, they can get this automatically while they're out in the field and be able to go and take care of a couple different requests at once. So from the citizen's perspective here, yeah, you can see it returned the actual tracking number to us. That tracking number, because I didn't create an account, I wouldn't be able to come back and log on to be able to see my status, but I can, as a citizen who didn't create an account, track this specific number. So I'm just going to copy that here quick, and I can show you where that's at. If I go back to the actual screen where we started this process, there is a track your service request field here, and if I paste that in and do a search against it, it's going to bring back information about that request for me. Now, right now we just have the status of it and the receive date and time, but this could be as many fields as you want to display here. So if you want to show your citizens the status of it or which department it was assigned to, the priority that you may assign to it, maybe the date, the estimated date that it'll be completed. Any of the fields that you track inside of the CRM system can be exposed here through the form. So I'm going to jump over to CRM here, and we're going to show you from the perspective of the actual worker, the caseworker. This may be a CSR sitting in a call center. It may be the person who's in charge of the highway and road division. This is what I'm going to see as I come into the system. So whenever I log into the system, I'm going to see a list of all of the active service requests. These are all the active service requests, meaning service requests that are still waiting to be taken care of. They've not been resolved and closed. And you can see here, this is the one that I just created a few minutes ago. I've created a couple of them over the last couple of days, so we have some sample data in here for you to see. But I can double click on these and open them up and take a look at them. Again, if this was a workflow that sent a link off to the person that's in charge of this specific type of case, they could have just clicked on the link and it would take them directly to this screen that we're looking at without having to look at the full list of service requests. But if you look over the form here at the top, you can see all the fields. These all filled in with the information that I filled in on the portal. And again, if you look at this form, it looks identical to the way it looked at on the portal. It's because the portal form was actually built dynamically based off of what you're looking at now. As you get down through this, I can see some additional fields here that we didn't expose on the portal. Things like what's the priority of this and the scheduled date for completion. Was it closed or not? Did we actually resolve this? Any of these fields can be filled in at this point. So if this wasn't something that automatically set a priority based on triggers, maybe we said it was a very deep pothole, so it may have already set that to high for us. Maybe not. Maybe we don't have an automated process for that, and I actually need to contact somebody to see when they're available to go out and take care of that and set a priority. But I have the ability to do that here from within the screen, and then I can save this record. You also see at the bottom of this we have the map. So based on the address that I put in whenever I filled this out on the portal, it went ahead and did the geotagging of this through latitude and longitude. This is going through Bing Maps. And it puts a point on the map for me, so I can actually zoom in and take a look at where this pothole is, and that's the office where I'm sitting at right now. To be able to go out to that location, if I'm not familiar where it's at, to be able to resolve the issue. Also at the bottom of the form are notes. So notes can have attachments with them, and if you remember on the portal, we did include an attachment. We included a picture of a pothole. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up, and it popped it open on my other screen, but I can drag it back on here. And so now as the caseworker who's actually going to go take care of this problem for the scenario of the pothole, I can get a picture of what the citizen actually submitted to me. And so to kind of pull this all back around, this was something that, as a citizen, we submitted this. I talked for a little bit, but we submitted this. It went almost immediately into the system. It got routed to the caseworker, and they're looking at this in the span of a few moments. So like Steve said earlier, as opposed to possibly days or weeks for something to be written up in a letter or on a fax or to be called in, I did this within a few minutes, pretty much all the way through the process here. The other thing to take note with this is the use of dashboards. So with dashboards, this allows you to get a graphical representation of what's going on at any given point right now in your agency. So this one in particular, this dashboard is for pothole service requests. So I can see, like a pipeline chart. How many do we have in the pipeline right now? Well, it looks like there's about 22 potholes that people have complained about over the period of time. It looks like 19 of them are new. I have one of them that's in progress of being resolved, and we have 2 of them that have been completed. Different types of charts and graphs that you can build with CRM. You can see we also have pie charts, vertical and horizontal bar charts. Each one of these is clickable as well, so I can drill down into each one of these with any field that's available to me on a form and get more information directly here on the screen. I can also pop these out to see them a little bit larger on the screen, and I can continue to keep drilling down into them as well. The other reporting mechanism you would have also available to you would be actual CRM reports. There is a report builder that comes out of the box. There are some canned reports out of the box, and then we can do custom reports as well. Reports are generally something you might want to print and take along with you, where the dashboards are much better represented on the screen. And I think with that, I was just going over my notes. I think with that, I covered everything. I'm going to turn this back over to Steve with the demo. And Steve, go ahead. Steve, I think your mic's muted.
Thank you, Mike. I appreciate that. I was just incredibly eloquent. But thank you very much. I really appreciate your demo. Everything that Mike just demoed is included within the Planet Solution Accelerator for Citizen Services. Again, what that includes is the 2 customized workflows. That includes the web portal branded to your site. That includes the training. That includes the setup of the Microsoft CRM Online service. That includes the platform that you're able to build upon, the scalable platform that you're able to build upon. We offer all the software from Planet and the services from Planet in a fixed fee solution for $30,000, a one-time fee. So there's no additional licensing cost for the Planet Solution Accelerator, one-time fee, fixed fee for $30,000. Again, this is built on top of the Microsoft Dynamics CRM, and of course you need to buy those licenses separately. But for those attending the call today, we are offering a special promotion. Planet will discount our solution from $30,000 to $27,500, leaving you $2,500 to apply towards your first 5 CRM online licenses. So in essence, for attending the webinar today, should you decide to move forward, for that $30,000 investment, you'll get all that Planet provides within our Solution Accelerator and our services, plus the funds to purchase 5 CRM online licenses for the first year. We want to thank you very much for attending our webinar today on Planet's Citizen Services Solution Accelerator and for viewing our demo. We hope we provided some insight into the issues associated with manual citizen services, the benefits associated with automating those services with the Planet solution, and for the value that our solution can bring to your organization at a very low initial price, allowing you to build on top of the platform moving forward. Should you have any questions, you have my contact information right there, swinter@go-planet.com. We also have our info alias, and we have some critical websites that you might want to visit. Planet has a CRM XRM solution site. That's a specific site called planetxrm.com, and you can visit that and see some of our other solutions, as well as you can visit our website at go-planet.com as well. Before we let you go today, we want to find out if anybody has any questions. So please let us know, either speak up or type us in the chat box any questions that you might have. Okay. Well, we'll assume that there are no questions for us today. Again, we really appreciate your attendance. Hopefully you found this well worth your 40 minutes of investment in time, and we look forward from hearing from you. Again, swinter@go-planet.com or info@go-planet.com, or of course you can contact your Planet account executive. Thank you very much for your attendance. We look forward to seeing you soon.